you always take the people that are closest to you for granted just because they're there every day, and you don't see them grow up just because you're there all the time. But going through something like that is a bit of a shock, and makes you do appreciate everything that goes on. Not that you bring it up all the time, but going through that, it sort of brings the family a little bit closer together, understanding all the little things that people do, and not always just taking people for granted.
I found out that I had breast cancer in February 2013. And what happened was I went to go and have my regular breast scan, and they found a calcification. So then they told me that I would have to have a biopsy and find out with that biopsy whether I had breast cancer or not. I was home and I got the phone call. So I had everything sitting out there waiting, and the nurse just told me that I had DCIS, which is the second. So the next one is aggressive, when the cancer is out of the milk ducts, and I had DCIS, so it was contained within the milk ducts. So I was home alone when I found out. My first reaction was I cried, and then after that I sort of thought, no, let's just get things together. My first decision was doctors, and I wanted to get onto it pretty quick, so I decided rather than ringing people and telling them and ruining their day, I would wait till the evening. Sorry. Yeah. So but what I did do was, after ringing the doctors and getting an appointment and making my decision on which doctor to go with, that's when I decided that I couldn't wait any longer. So I rang my husband and told him. I knew that I would have to make a decision on what to do, whether to, go down the track of doing chemo and radiation and have it removed, but keep the breast, or whether to do the mastectomy. And I think because in my history, my mother had breast cancer and she died of breast cancer at the age of 53, I think I'd already made the decision that I wasn't going to keep my breasts, because that was just going to be an ongoing, whether it would come back or it wouldn't come back. I just thought I'd had discussions with my sisters and so forth on what would happen if we ever found out that we had breast cancer. So I think I was already in my mind pretty clear that if it was, I would get rid of them. So when I first told my sisters about having cancer, they were really upset, because it just brings back everything to do with my mum and how my mum, it's the fear that we had all our lives that we might get it. So it was a reality that one of us got it. So I think that fear they reacted with, they were very scared themselves, but also just wanted to help. I think that telling my children and telling my husband and talking about it all was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, because of the fear that they have and the change that had to happen to them to go through what I went through. Was everybody changed in my little immediate family. So the first procedure was that long operation. It was a really surreal feeling, to be honest, because you're going in and you know that when you come out, you're a different person. Something, it's only physical, but it is something that is part of a woman's life, having breasts. And that you've fed your children with them, your husbands like them, and it's part of being a woman having breasts. So I think the thought that they were going to be gone was was a very scary thought. Yeah. Hey, you're saving your life, so it's a good thing to have them gone. You're doing the right thing by having them gone, but in the same aspect, so you sort of go through this back and forth feeling within yourself when you first hear the cancer word. You get put on this train, and every time the train stops at the station, you have to make a decision, and it's a major decision. So from the time that you were told to the time that you had the operation, you just made decisions, and they had to be, you couldn't just make a stupid decision. You had to really think about these things and the consequences on other people and the consequences on yourself. And so I feel that when I woke up from the operation, it was like the train had stopped.